Hello and welcome. I'm just going to check that I'm where I should be in this group, and I'm hoping I'm live in the correct group. It has I can hear myself. So I can hear myself, which is good. So I'm hoping you guys can hear me as well. It has been a bit of a nightmare. I've had some real tech issues with my computer, which doesn't normally happen, but today of all days, it's all gone down. My name is Erica Maggs. I am an emotional eating expert, and I'm about to share I'm going to share my screen with you all because I'm very, very mindful of the time and that I have a deadline to do my presentation. So I'm just going to share my screen and get straight on it. This is probably going to be the fastest presentation that you have seen for me to be able to get everything out. But I know that I don't have a lot of time. So as I've said, my name is Erica Maggs and I am an emotional eating expert. This is a very, very quick overview, but I'm not going to go through everything. I am a wife, I am a mother, I am a choir director as well. I love singing. I have a degree in music, and part of that is with psychology as well. I have a beautiful adopted daughter, a husband, two rabbits, and a cat. And I don't know how many of you know emotional eating experts, but that's what I am. This is Georgia, my beautiful daughter. And if anybody is on, please say hello so I know that this is actually going live where it should be going live. Just do some hearts, some likes and loves. And also, if you catch the replay, please just put hashtag replay and just say hello so I know I've done this kind of like in the right place. But anyway, this is my gorgeous daughter, Georgia. And actually, this is where my story began. Oh, hi, Lindsay, I can see you. Oh my God, so much problems, so much problems. But I'm going to adhere to the times. So you're going to notice that I'm speaking incredibly quickly, but I will be finished at 4:30 because I know that that's my cutoff. But you know, that's how tech rolls. So Georgia is where my story starts. Georgia is uh, is the person why I am doing what I am doing now. This was Georgia when she was about 6. She came to us just under 3. And this was me, not at my biggest actually, but I was an emotional eater and I used food for comfort. And loved, I liked food like a lot of people do. And I was controlling it quite nicely. But when my daughter arrived, it was, I suppose it was like a volcano that erupted in our household where we had this young girl and she had issues like kids that are adopted or fostered, but I didn't know how to deal with it. And because I didn't know how to deal with it, I thought something was wrong with me. And I also thought I was doing something wrong, that actually I wanted to be a mum and I couldn't. So I took it out on myself. I started to abuse my body. At the time, I didn't really think about it. I was just kind of like easing the stress, easing the problems. And so I started to eat more and more, and I gained more and more weight. And as that happened, I just ballooned and ballooned. I became more depressed. I didn't feel that I was a worthy mother or wife or woman. I felt totally invisible. And I just felt that I was not being the mother that I should be, but I didn't know what to do. Looking back now and knowing what we know now, that had nothing to do with me being a mother. That was just to do with, I suppose, professionals and services failing us as adoptive parents. We just we weren't given the history, and we weren't given the professional resources and things that we needed to be able to parent our daughter the way that she needed to be parented. So I took it all personally. I just started to hate on myself. And I hated on myself so much that I became, well, I think when Georgia came to our house, I was a size 14, and that's where I usually sat. And then I just ballooned up and up. Within a year, I went to a size 20, and then at my worst, I was a size 28. And when I look at pictures like this of myself, and I see myself smiling, I can see in my eyes, and I know the pain that I was going through at this moment in time. But actually, this picture of me getting my degree, which was, I think, the highest point of stress and trauma in our household. I don't even know how I even got through getting the degree, but I did. And you know what women are like. Women are amazing when they set their minds to doing something. But I was at my most unhappiest probably at this point in my life, but I was just getting through it like you do. You get through life, you do the things you need to do. And my focus was I needed to be a good mother, and I wanted at that particular time, I wanted to get a degree. So there was absolutely madness going on at home when I was actually working towards those 3 years. I don't even know how I did it, but somehow I did it, and I managed to get a first. I don't know how, but I did. And I achieved something. I was the first actually out of the siblings in my family to achieve getting a degree, and I was so proud of myself. This was me on holiday in America. I went through an experience going on a ride where I was told to actually leave the ride because they couldn't shut the barrier. The security couldn't shut down, so I had to actually get off the ride and leave my daughter and my husband to go. And this was, there were certain things that happen in your life that you will never ever forget. That was one moment in my life that I actually wanted the earth to swallow me up and to and just cover me over, and that was it. But I had to deal with it. And like you do, you just smile and you laugh and you just kind of like, yeah, I'm fine. But actually I wasn't fine. This is me at a size 28. And a few years later, I went on holiday with my daughter, and I realized then that I had to change my life. I needed to become this woman that I felt worthy of being, also being the role model to my daughter. So this holiday I went on with my daughter, I lied to her about things that she wanted to do in the summer holidays because I was embarrassed about my size. I didn't want to go on the beach. I didn't want to go walking around in the sun all over the place because I was just hot and bothered and sweaty, and it was an uncomfortable feeling, and especially having to go on the beach. That's the worst place anybody that's morbidly obese wants to go. But it was that holiday that changed my life. It was my daughter that made me see sense. And these pictures now, when I look at these pictures, I see a different woman. I know it's me, but I see this woman, but I realize that I took my life in my hands. I was at the abyss. I was right at the bottom, and I knew that I had to do something about my life. I had to change my life. And I decided there and then I needed to change. I needed to. And I'm having to whiz through these pictures and whiz through my story because I'm very, very conscious of the time, and that I know that someone else is due to come on at this time. So I'm going to fast forward because I decided to empower myself. I decided to change my life. I decided to do what needed to be done. And I know that a lot of people say, oh, going on a diet is really, really difficult. And that was the thing that I did. I went on a diet. And I'm very transparent about what I did. I didn't do surgery. I didn't do anything like that. I went on a diet. And I was on a diet for a whole year. But when I talk about transformation, yes, I did maybe to come back in May. Oh, thank you. I'm going to be five more minutes if that's all right with you, Lindsay. I know there's probably going to be a delay. There's probably going to be a delay with you messaging me and letting me know. But I've got my phone, my other device, so I can actually see you talking to me in the live. But I decided that I needed to change my life, and it was my daughter that made me see sense, made me see that I didn't want to see her see me grow up the way that I was, and that she took on board my role model, the negative role model that I was portraying. And Okay, thanks. And thanks, Lindsay. So I realized though, and I'm going to say this very quickly, I realized that dieting is only a part of it. And I accept, oh, hi. Hi, thanks for jumping on. I accept that at that time when I was morbidly obese that I needed to change my eating because my eating was absolutely horrendous. I was abusing my body. But there was something else that came to play that I realized, and I only now fully really understand that I had to change my mindset. I had to do something about my mindset because I'd been dieting, doing yo-yo dieting for years and years and years, like we all do. But I didn't connect the dots. And the last couple of years, I've really connected the dots. So dieting is great, but is it? Because what tends to happen, most people yo-yo. They go up and down, on a diet, off a diet, on a diet, off a diet. That's what I had been doing for 15, 20 plus years. But when I started to realize I needed to incorporate mindset shifting as well alongside, that's how I could become successful. And I know that when I gave myself a year to lose the weight, and then I knew that the big journey would be the maintenance. And the maintenance journey is all about mindset. It's all about accepting that things have to be different because they just do. And for a lot of women, I think that's the hardest part about accepting that things have to be different. And that's me last year, last year I loved the sun. I loved the sun. I love dresses. I just adored the sun. I even adored the sun when I was 20 odd plus stones, but it just wasn't fun. It really wasn't fun when I was that big. And I've written there, thank you for listening, because I'm wrapping this up really, really quickly. I'm just going to end with my vision for this year, 2022. So, you know that I'm an emotional eating expert, and I support women who struggle with all aspects around emotional eating and food addiction. And what I try to do is to guide them so that they can regain control of food, embracing self-love, letting go of the past, and living a life that is vibrant. And that's what I do today. For me, it's not about the diet. Anyone can do a diet. The biggest transformation is actually transforming your mindset. I have just started yesterday a membership. And if you're interested in finding out about this membership, I am welcoming in founding members for a super amazing price. For any woman out there that struggles with emotional eating, but also you know that actually you've been dieting for 10 million years. You've been spending thousands, actually. That's what I did for years. But it's not really working. And you need to find an answer. My new membership, I haven't even given it a name yet. My new membership, it is all about learning how to shift your mindset and finding your pathway to success. I'd like to thank you for, I'm just going to stop sharing my screen. I'd like to thank you for joining me, whether you joined me live today or on the replay. If you have any questions, please just pop it into the chat and I will pop back. I'm sorry that I had to rush through this presentation. I don't generally do it like this, but I'm very, very mindful. Oh, I've gone 6 minutes over, so I'm not sure who the next person is, but sorry. But hopefully I will be able to connect with some of you. And for some of you that are struggling with emotional eating, it is normal. This is something I want to normalize, talking about emotional eating and how you can change your life. And I'm not talking about dieting. I'm talking about shifting your mindset and becoming the version of the woman that you've always wanted to be. Take care, enjoy the rest of the presentations, and I'm hoping that I will connect with some of you soon. And thank you ever so much, Lindsay, for this opportunity.